Hello students, how are you? Perhaps you remember during your school period you have read a poem Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. So what we have learned from that poem? From that poem you have learned perhaps that stars even cannot twinkle without darkness. So darkness is also required to prove the existence and quality of the stars. So similarly, in your life, in the present situation, you have to face the challenges, you have to face all the problems, and you have to prove your existence, your quality among the negative or dark situation. So let us start today. GST in India, a simplified overview, part 11. In today's class, I will discuss the concept of goods and services in GST. You know that what is GST, what do you mean by goods, what is meaning of the service and meaning of supply. These have been already discussed in my earlier videos, but to make the things simple, I have simplified the things and in a few lines I have given just a definition. But today I have made this video especially because after completion of the part 10 video you have the I think that minimum knowledge about the GST. So now we will go in details and you can follow the meaning of goods and meaning of services and the meaning of supply. As you seem that supply is a very small word and it means sale, but it is not that much easy. So in my earlier classes, the things not to make the topic complex in a simplified manner I have explained, but today we will go in details which is required to know the better concept of GST. So let us see the concept of goods and services in GST. What is the need of merging goods and service? What was the necessity to merge goods and service both all together under the GST? So major contribution of the revenue comes from the service sector. In India, service sector gives a major contribution of revenue to the government, so it cannot be neglected. So service is to be brought under the GST. It was the necessity to need. It was the need to merge the service with the goods. Next point: separation of goods and service is not viable in practice. Normally, goods and services cannot be bifurcated in various cases. For example, you see in case of manufacturing industry or manufacturing process, you see in case of beauty parlor, goods and services both are supplied. In case of restaurant, you see the goods are supplied in the restaurant and service is also given and it is jointly. In case of software, in case of work contract, goods and services are both there. Credit card, it is difficult to judge whether it is a service or is a good. Similarly, in case of SIM card, etc. So all these are the topic which is very difficult to identify whether these are goods or these are services. Or sometimes if it, though it can be identified that it is services or goods, but it is jointly served, so it is very difficult to determine the value of each things. So as because the bifurcation or separation between goods and service was not possible, so it was merged goods and services both. Now you see next slide you see meaning of good GST. Under this section you see on the slide goods and service tax means any tax supply of goods or service or both. So GST means supply of goods, it may be supply of service or both, except taxes on supply of alcoholic liquor for human consumption. So it is in the definition itself, it is given that alcoholic liquor for human consumption is not under GST because it is in the definition itself given means it will never brought under the GST. So because it is the good revenue for the government, so State government keeps this the alcohol liquor for human consumption in his hand and not under the GST to so as to divide 50-50 between center and states. Now you see, now under meaning of service under Article 2366(26) you see service means anything other than goods. You see very simplified definition that service means anything other than goods. A thing which is not good is a service. So there is a no chances of any complication. There is a no chances of any argument. So government will not lose revenue, because if a product is not goods, then that means it is a service. So anything which is not goods is a service. It is a definition. In this way it has been mentioned. So we will not go in it. I can think you can follow it. I will not give further example. Now let us proceed to the next slide. Good means every kind of movable property. You see, goods here in the GST we have discussed definition of service. Now definition of goods. Goods means every kind of movable property, not immovable. So movable property, but except money. So money is movable, but it does not come under the pure view of the GST. So money means if money is exchanged in pound, dollar, etc., then it is treated again as service, because it is a supply of service, because it is exchanged, it is converted. So if money is converted, then it may be treated as supply of service. Otherwise, normally money is not treated as goods for the purpose of GST. Again, security. Security here means share, bond, debenture, mutual fund, etc. So under the GST, these securities, these are not taxable under GST. So these are not falls under the definition of goods under GST. So all movable property except money and security. I think that you can get my point. Now let us see here. Sale or transfer of land or building is not treated as supply of goods normally. Why? Because land and building is immovable property. It is not movable. So land and building are being immovable property. So these are not taxable normally, and it is under the negative list. You will get later on in this video. I will in the last part we will see that certain items are given in the negative list. Negative list means not under the GST. So it comes, land and building comes in the negative list, and as because it is immovable property, so it is normally not taxable. When it is taxable, however, lease, if the land or building is given on lease, it is given on license, on rent, etc., then it is taxable. It is treated as supply of service. So normally you see 18% GST charge in case of leasing, licensing or renting of the land or building, etc. So I think that land and building normally not taxable, not under the GST, but if on lease, etc., then it is taxable. Again, further you see, further you have to know about land and building. But before knowing about the land and building details, we will go about the meaning of supply. You see, instead of sale, the word supply is used. In case of GST, so far I have been using many times the word sale, but in fact the proper word is supply. Supply is used for goods and service both within Indian territory. You see here, supply is used for goods, supplying of goods and service within Indian territory. So here is a big broad term. Indian territory does not mean only from Gujarat to Arunachal Pradesh or from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. It does not cover only the land area, but it is also covered water and airways also. So any area nearby the Indian territory, which may be in the covering the Indian Ocean, where the ship runs or where our the Indian flights runs, Indian airways runs, so that are also brought under the coverage of the GST. So here the term within Indian territory is used. So it is a broad term. And what does the supply means? Supply includes all forms of supply of goods and service, or both. So supply means supply of goods, it may be supply of service, or it may be supply of both. And it also includes sale. It may be supply means sale, supply means transfer, it may be barter, it may be rental, it may be lease of goods, it may be licensing of goods, it may be exchange of goods, or disposal made for a consideration by a person in the course of business. So here 2 points for a consideration. That means price must be charged here and in the course of business. It must be in the course of business. Normally it must be in the course of business. So in the course of business and with the charging of a price, if these things happen, transfer, barter, rental, lease, licensing, exchange, etc., then it will be treated as supply. So it is a vast meaning which covers the meaning of supply. Now let us go to the next slide. It also, number B, it also includes any import of service. If any service is imported, not goods. If service is imported for a consideration only, if the price is charged for the import of service, then it is treated as supply of service. But for any use, it may be business purpose or personal use, it will be taxable as supply of service as IGST. Because if any import of services is made for a consideration, whether for the business purpose or for the personal use even, but the price is charged, then any import of service is treated as supply of service and will be brought under taxable under GST, and that where their IGST will be applicable under the forward charge system. But under reverse charge mechanism, it is normally exempted because as consumption of service in India. Okay, I think that you can follow it and you go through the slide. It is very much clear. Note, if no consideration in import of services, then not treated as supply. But if there is no, if the price is not charged, in that case, import of services is not treated as supply. But any import of goods not taxable under GST Act. But you see, if the import, I have clarified here import of service, but if import of goods is made, then it is not taxable under GST Act, you see. It is taxable under the Custom Tariff Act 1975 or Indian Customs Act 1962, it is taxable. How? Their BCD means basic custom duty plus additional custom duty which will be equivalent to the IGST. So in this way, basic custom duty and additional custom duty that is equivalent to IGST will be charged, but not as per the GST Act but under the Customs Tariff Act. So we can say that in case of import of goods, it is not taxable under GST Act. Okay, now let us proceed further to the next slide. You see number C point, a supply specified in Schedule 1 made or agree to be made even without a consideration for business purpose only. Here you see sometime any supply which has been made for the business purpose without a consideration, meaning without charging any price, it may be also taxable as specified under Schedule 1. But in today's video, we will we will not be discussing this without consideration, that means free supply. But in the next video, we will discuss that free supply, even without charging any price, if goods are transferred for the business purpose, it may be treated as a supply, it may be treated as deemed supply, and it may be made taxable. So I think that it is free supply. How it is taxable, it is also important point to know, but not today. In the next video, we will learn it. Now, activities specified in Schedule 2 is positive list notified by the government. Under Schedule 2, certain positive list is notified by the government, such as deemed supply in case of land and building under certain conditions. Say any transfer of assets, whether it may be sometime it may be supply of goods or sometime it may be treated as supply of service. So transfer of asset, it is clarified in the under Schedule 2 positively, it means it is definitely taxable. And processing of goods, sometimes goods are processed in various processes, are the goods are performed from certain processes. So in that case, it will be taxable, but it is taxable as a supply of service because processing is treated as a supply of service. Again, transfer of business asset. Sometime earlier it was a transfer of normal asset, but here it is transfer of business assets. So it is again, it may be taxable as supply of goods or it may be taxable as supply of services. Composite supply. Sometimes what is composite supply, mixed supply, it will need a separate, it needs separate attention and separate class is required. In my next video, we will also learn composite supply and mixed supply, etc. But timing, composite supply is also treated as supply of service and it is made taxable. Transfer of land and building. Transfer of land and building, we have already discussed that it is under negative list. Land and building is not taxable because it is immovable property. So as a goods, as an immovable property, it is not taxable. But it is taxable if it is treated as supply of service. So under what condition transfer of land and building may be supply of services? It needs special attention. We will learn in the next slide. Now you see, before discussing that, again you see under schedule 2, deemed supply to avoid any confusion between goods and services. Sometimes there is a confusion between goods and services. So schedule 2 specifies the conditions. Any transfer of goods or assets with ownership title either immediately or in a future. If ownership is transferred, if the goods are transferred along with the ownership title, whether title is transferred immediately or on a future date, under in case of hire purchase system, ownership is transferred later on a future date, but it will be treated as supply of goods. Where is merely transfer of right to use the goods. Sometimes transfer of right is transferred to use the goods without transferring the ownership. Ownership is not transferred, but right to use the goods is transferred. So in that case, it will be treated as supply of service. So it is clarified under schedule 2 that under certain cases it will be treated as supply of goods. Under certain cases it will be treated as supply of service and it will be made taxable. In certain cases, in case of notified e-commerce operator is also treated as deemed supplier. In case of Flipkart, etc. I will not go in details because in my earlier videos you have already got the e-commerce operator, how it is made taxable. I have already discussed. So in the next slide you see, now let us come to this point. Building and land, you see. Building, if full consideration, that means full price of the building is paid after completion certificate of the building. If a building is completely constructed and completion certificate is received, and after the completion of the building, if the full consideration is paid or part consideration paid, it is not treated as supply of service. But if part or full payment is made before completion of building, if part payment or full payment is made before completion of building, then it is taxable as supply of service under construction. Because part payment or full payment is made before completion, then that means it is a contract to construct a building and it is a supply of service. So under construction. So construction service, as a construction service, it is treated and it is made taxable. So it is very important to know that building in certain cases it may be taxable under GST and in certain cases it is not taxable. Again, lease, licensing, letting of land, rent or building are also taxable as supply of service. It is already discussed in the last slide. Land, sale or transfer of land not treated as supply of goods, but lease, license, tenancy, etc. of land is also taxable as supply of service. It is already discussed, I think. So in this way, I think that building and land, these are very much clear to you. So in the next slide, you see the activities are not treated as supply under section 7.2, schedule 3 negative list. Now from schedule 2 we have switched over to the schedule 3. So under schedule 3 there is a negative list. What do you mean by negative list? Negative list means these are not brought under the GST tax bracket. Under GST, these items are not taxable. These are totally under the negative list. So sale of land and building, that is ready for sale after completion. If the land and building is completion, after completion it is ready for sale, in that case no GST will apply. Actionable claim, in case of actionable claim no GST will be applicable except or other than lottery, gambling, betting, etc. So other than lottery, gambling, betting, etc., any actionable claim are under the negative list. Again, services by any court or tribunal. You see, the court gives services. Sometimes tribunal gives services to the people. So any service rendered by the court or the lawyer will not be brought. Is not under the GST. It is under the negative list. You see, next number D, death related service like funeral or burial, etc. So in case of funeral or burial services, because after the death of a human being, it is very awkward or awkward position to ask a family member of a deceased person that pay GST before the funeral function. So in that case, government has made it that any debt related service, there will be no question of GST. In case of services by an employee to employer, if an employee provides a service to the employer in normal terms, because it is the duty of the employee to give service to the employer. So normally, employee is bound to provide his best services to the employer. So no question of GST. So employee service to the employer is under the negative list also. Services or activities by the government. Government gives various renders various services, welfare activities. Any constitutional post holder, say President of India, provides many services. MP, MLA on behalf of the government or panchayat, etc. So these services rendered by the government or the constitutional post holder, MP, MLA, are not under the GST, because the government charges GST, and from themselves how government can charge? Government will charge from government? No. How government can charge from the President of India? How government can charge? Because MP, MLA, these are for the welfare of the people. Panchayat is giving the rendering services, and GST will be charged on panchayat services and again taken by the government. So government will charge and government will pay. So it does not look good. It is not justified. So again, activities by such government, MP, MLA, panchayat, etc. These are not under the GST. These are under the negative list. So in this way, we have discussed the negative list. Last, here is a note again: interstate supply of goods and services through various modes. Now there is a note. There is another circular is there, that interstate supply of goods or services through various modes of conveyance between the related person. Related person means, I will explain in the next video, because it needs sufficient clarification. Simply we know that within the same family members, within the partners of the business, they are related person. If within from one business to another, within the suppose the conveyance is provided, and goods and services are provided through various conveyance from one state to another between the related person, then it is not under the purview of the GST. It is under the negative list, subject to the condition that further sale or supply is not taxable, but not for further sale or supply, because these services are if given not for further sale of supply. Suppose if a industry has a various branches in various states, and from head office to the branch office, if some team is going to deliver their services and also delivering certain products, but it is not for the sale, not for the supply, but for the repairing purpose of the factory or etc. like this. So it is not for the further sale. So in that case, such services are under the negative list. So there is a circular by the government of India regarding this. So as per circular, under negative list, this is also not taxable. So I think that you can get to my point. So today I think that if you have any doubt, you can ask me. So once again, dear students, I remind you, then learning should not be stopped during the time of crisis. So better utilize your time, keep learning, keep loving. Thank you.